friends, welcome back to my channel. So we are doing the series Learn Tarot with me, and today we're going to talk about the history of tarot. And so before we get started, I want to share just some decks with you guys. I didn't have any traditional tarot decks with me at the moment, and so I'm just kind of showing you some more of my favorite ones. The Lightseers Tarot is one that I have seen pretty much every tarot reader on YouTube have. And what I love about this deck is that the pictures are super descriptive. So it's helped me a lot in learning, especially whenever I'm trying to do some readings, even though I still have to research everything. Then we have the cute ghost tarot. That one's just adorable. I mean, seriously, like, look at that. Aren't they cute? Anyways, okay. And then we have the Fountain Tarot. This one's just really beautiful all the way around. So anyways, that's it. I'm not getting paid for any of this, by the way. I'm showing you guys what I have. So today, let's talk about the history of tarot, you guys. So tarot originated in the 15th century in Italy, and it was really just kind of entertainment for the elite. And then somewhere around the 16th and 18th centuries, France got a hold of it and kind of somewhere along the way decided that tarot is actually providing us ancient wisdom from Egypt. So very interesting. Going into the 19th and 20th centuries, that's whenever tarot really became associated with like astrology, fortune telling, all of that sort of thing. And what's interesting about the tarot decks that I really, really love, because I didn't know before I started learning about tarot that there was a rhyme and a reason to all the tarot cards. So the tarot deck actually begins with the Fool. And the Fool is the number 0 card in the tarot deck. And it represents clean slates, brand new beginnings. And the Fool goes through the entire journey, the life journey of the Fool. And it's kind of representing just like one lesson of the Fool, because once that ends, when you have the end of the deck, or the end of the major arcana cards, which we'll talk about in upcoming episodes, you have the World card, which is like a completion, and then the Fool, the journey starts over. So when you're reading tarot, just remember that it's representing a specific part in your life of where you are in that journey. And we're just kind of going through the Fool's journey. What does life look like? What are the major lessons? What are the major karmic things that are happening to the Fool? Going into the minor arcana cards, which we'll also talk about upcoming. Those are just like the daily struggles, like the details in between the major things that are happening. So, and if I'm reaching over here, you guys, I'm doing it because I'm looking at my notes on my computer that I took for my research. So just bear with me as I go through this. I will get more situated as time goes on, but as you know, we're learning this together, including how to record for YouTube. So it's going to be all of it. So it all starts with a blank slate, right? And it shifts into the major changes. So the tarot deck is separated into 4 different archetypes, and those are the Wands, the Cups, Swords, and Pentacles. Now, I have different decks that will give them different names. I think the decks that I have out here today actually have like for instance, like the 3 of Coins. Okay, so the 3 of Coins represents Pentacles. So you'll notice that there's going to be different names for some of them based off of the deck. I've honestly had to Google it because I'm like, what does trees represent? I actually don't even remember right now thinking about it. I thought it was Wands, but I'm pretty sure it's not. So whatever. Okay, so you have Wands, Cups, Swords, Pentacles. And each of these 4 archetypes represent a different element. So Wands represents fire, which is like energy, passion, creativity, ambition, career, things like that. Okay, so remember that Wands represents fire, which we are in the year of the fire horse right now as I'm recording this on 17 February 2026. So passion, creativity, and ambition. Okay. Then we have cups, which represents water. And this is all about emotion, relationships, feelings, intuition, the heart, right? For some reason, I always remember that cups equals emotions and it equals water. I don't know what it is, but water definitely gives off emotion vibes. Do you know what I mean? Like, just everything comes in waves. That's how I've described emotions a lot throughout my life, is like, oh, it comes in waves, it comes in waves, right? So just remember, cups is water and it represents feelings, emotions, intuition, relationships, the heart, all that internal mushy gushy stuff. Then we have the swords, and swords are air. I remember swords as like thoughts. So this is like logic, communication, conflict, and mental clarity. So to me, how I can remember that it's like the swords equal air, because I don't really see a correlation between those two things, is that sometimes our thoughts are very cutting, right? They create a lot of clarity for us, or confusion. And I kind of envision that thoughts are, they can be very cutting at times. There can be very to the point. And air makes me think of my mind, right? So my mind is airy, right? Like it's something that's intangible, but we know that it's there. So that's how I remember that. Then pentacles. So pentacles always shows up kind of like as a coin whenever you're looking through the tarot deck. And it represents earth. So I always think of pentacles in the 3D. So if you pull a pentacles card, it means that this is something that is being grounded in the 3D, like happening down here in earth, in your present moment, in front of you. You're going to be able to see it. So this is physicality. This represents like money, health, home, material security, all of that. Okay, so whenever a pentacle shows up in the card, this may be something that you're physically seeing or are about to see. So the next step, sorry, the next part of tarot cards that I wanted to go over, because I'm not going to go over the whole tarot deck, duh. This is just like the history of it and kind of like an overview of tarot. The parts that really stand out to me when I'm going through the tarot cards, when I get to the minor arcana cards, right? So they're separated into two parts. You have the major arcana, which are the major themes in life. Then you have the minor arcana, which is like all the bits and pieces that create the major themes: daily life, daily struggles, whatever, relationship conflict, relationships, love, money, whatever. When you're getting into the minor arcana cards, they go through 1 through 10. The cards start out with the ace first, which is like the baby beginnings, the seeds of that type. So you'll have an ace of wands, an ace of cups, ace of swords, and ace of pentacles. And then it goes through the number 1 through 10. And then the part that stands out to me that I want to remember, so that's why I'm bringing it up now, is the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. And the best way that I've had it described to me is that the page is like the child in all of us, like the inner child version of that subtype. So if you have the page of wands, which, you know, wands represents like energy, okay? It's a curiosity about it. It's like a student. It's not infant level, right? That's more of the ace in my mind. But it's more just like, you know, going to school. You're learning, you're asking questions, you're very curious, but you're still kind of naive and you don't really fully know what you're doing. Then we move into the knights. And knights are always making movement. So anytime a knight comes out in the tarot deck, it is movement towards something. And they can be kind of impulsive. They're more of the teenager of the group, the teenager, young adult, like teens, 20s, where you're still kind of figuring out life, but you're less in the curiosity and learning phase, and you're more into the taking action, though sometimes impulsive. And it's kind of reckless at times as well, that the knight can be. And it can be kind of extremist, but you're really just taking action and moving towards something. Then when we move into the queens, that's kind of like middle age, right? So you're in a nurturing phase. So anytime there's a queen of one of the archetypes, there is, hold on. Y'all, why am I getting a phone call? Okay. So the queen is, hold on, y'all. The nurturing side of everything. So this is like internal mastery. So think of like middle-aged people, they're kind of settling into who they are. They are much more grounded. They like to influence through empathy, intuition, introspection. So the queen, anytime a queen comes out in the tarot deck, it's a lot about looking internally. So whenever you go internal, which ironically we have the hermit here, the hermit also represents internal introspection as well. But the queens and the different 4 archetypes, that's what she's all about. And then you have the king. And the king is all about leadership and external motivation. So this is about external mastery. Kings have total control over the element of ruling things and focusing on directing that energy outward. Okay, so these are the decision makers who provide stability and authority. So the kings are the end of each archetype. That's kind of the finale, the all-knowing of that type. So for instance, the King of Pentacles, which is kind of the end of the minor arcana cards, the King of Pentacles is somebody who has achieved all of their life goals. They had the family, they had the kids, they had the wealth, and now they're getting to just kind of live in retirement, right? So it's like, it's kind of the end of that journey. And so basically, just to summarize it all up, the page is the part where you learn, the knight is a part where you do, the queen is a part where you feel, and the king is a part where you rule and you make it happen. So we'll talk about in detail in the upcoming videos. I really don't want to make these too long right now. So we'll talk about in detail, like, what do these cards look like in regards to like the 4 archetypes, whatever. But there's just so much to learn about tarot, and that's why I find it so overwhelming. And hence why I'm making these videos so that you guys can learn it with me, because it's a lot to remember. So anyways, I'm glad you guys joined me for this. Hit that subscribe button if you're really feeling it and you want to learn this journey with me. We're just going to do it in a messy way. I'm not teaching it to you guys. I'm learning along with you. I'm doing the research beforehand and then showing you what I learned. So please be sure to leave comments in the bottom what you know about these different cards. If you know anything super cool about the history of tarot, please share it. We're all learning together, so I want you guys to leave those comments so that you can kind of teach me some more stuff as well, because I know a lot of you are going to know way more than I do. Okay, so hit that subscribe button. My goal is to post every Sunday morning and every Wednesday evening, so I will see you guys on Sunday. No, Wednesday. I'm posting this one on Sunday. That's right. Sorry, y'all. Anyways, see you on Sundays and Wednesdays. Bye, everyone.